we're gonna break down year 2024. Where were we at
in
current?
our net worth.
Yes. So
We just paid off our house.
yeah, keep that in mind. So
These numbers were done in at the end of the year. So
we do our
December
numbers
31st.
in December 31st. If you
Mm-hmm.
have read our book, that's the reason why it says that. It's
Yeah.
an inside joke.
Yes. So we do
Yeah.
our numbers December 31st at the end, right before
Yes.
the new year.
Okay. So in cash combined, we had $31,518 with 3 cents.
That is in our savings, cash available that we had in our
Yes.
savings.
My 401k was at a balance of $142,865
Yes. Then my 401k in that year was $69,835
with 40 cents.
with 40 cents.
You got to remember cents.
Every penny counts.
I have another 401k through John Hancock, and that one is $23,644.
Yeah. And that one is just
My
extra.
job offers an additional one, so I have two 401ks.
I have my Roth IRA, and my Roth is $6,982 with 33 cents. And this is something I open on my own.
My Roth was $11,820.
Yes. And then we have our son's 529 account. We started this account back when he was
2 years old.
2 years old. We figured a lot of people, family members, do want to sometimes give him gifts for birthdays, occasions, and there's just so much a kid can have, like toys and things like that. That we started his 529 account and started funding that when he was 2 years old with gifts and.
Did you say the balance?
So my son's 529 account is $8,162. The next account we have is he has a HSA, which is a health savings account, and in that one we have 16,655.
Okay. Next one is our home, since it's already paid off. We don't know really what the market value is, but at the time, this is what Zillow was telling us. Of course, things have changed since, but
things fluctuate with the market. Everyone knows.
Yeah, yes.
So at that time, our home value was at $360,000. We had the opportunity to buy a property in Ecuador. I'm from Ecuador, so we bought a property, and that was at that year was evaluated at $18,000.
Yeah, we're hoping to use this property when we retire and maybe build a house. It's just an option. We're just thinking ahead.
And then we have the Tesla, the brand new car we just have bought at $60,000. And remember, your car loses value as soon as you drive
The
it
minute
off
you drive it off the lot. So
Yep.
we're already taking losses on these.
Yeah, so we already accounted for that. So that wasn't the value price that we bought it at, but it was the value that it had at that point already.
Yeah, and then the other one, it was our 2016 Honda Accord Sport.
Yes, that was the car that we bought back in 2016. That one was valued at $13,000.
And that was paid obviously off completely. And then we have an additional car, which is a SUV, which is a Saab. That's a 2008, and we valued that about $4,000.
A hoopty truck we have.
Yes, a beat up vehicle.
just in case he needs to haul anything, or me for my chickens.
Yep.
He has tools.
Yeah, my tools and equipment that I have in my garage, we value that about $18,000.
He has a lot. Remember, he was a car mechanic before.
Yeah, so Snap-on is
Texas.
very expensive, let me tell you.
And then furniture, everything we have at home, and that if
anything that has value, like couches.
Anything so net worth, one thing you have to think about is anything that if you needed to sell and liquidate your money, you could sell and get cash for and get your hands on cash. So we estimated things that we have in our house, like the furniture, at $9,000.
And then this was a small side business that I have with one of my friends. He's my business partner, and we evaluated that at that time at $5,000. That's pretty much just on equipment and inventory.
Jewelry that we own, things that we have, around $4,000.
And then This should be a big one.
Gym equipment. Back in 2020 or 2019, we invested in a home gym. So we bought some equipment for our house so we can work out here.
And then we have electronics. So that's your iPhones, laptops, all of that. That equals out to
1,300.
And then
we had lent money to someone. So it was about $1,120.
So they were in a payment plan. So we consider that an asset.
Don't do that.
Don't do.
Okay, another miscellaneous things that we have, 1,100.
Okay, now for the liabilities.
Yes. So liabilities, our Tesla loan, our car, it was 35,355.
We had just bought the car. Yes, I know that's not the price of the car. Yeah, we put a huge down payment. I'm sure you guys could do the math on that.
Yes, we did. So that's how much we still owed at that time in December. Remember, we bought the car in December. So we only owed 35,355. And then
we have my credit card. At the time, we had I guess it caught me in the cycle where it wasn't paid off. But I pay it monthly, and the balance was $1,500.
Yes, you should be paying off your credit cards statements completely every month. Don't let that
That's
carry
how credit cards are supposed to work.
I know. Trust me. I know.
She has learned that lesson a few times.
Yes. My phone, it was also on payments, and it was 1,300. Some things like that make sense because I got it with my Apple credit card, and Apple gives you 3% back. Plus, they don't charge you interest on the whole installment life. So it's like 2 years, whatever the case may be, but you're not paying interest. So it doesn't make sense to pay it cash completely. So you can just be on a payment plan on that.
We don't pay everything cash, even if we can, because you still got to maintain your credit and build credit just in case you need it down the line to start a business or buy a new property. So you want to have your credit good and outstanding.
Yeah, and remember, credit cards, you don't want to let it go without paying it because they charge you interest. Now, like this case, my phone, I didn't have any interest for like 2 years, so I was paying it monthly. And then I had my own credit card that also was at that point where I needed to pay it. So at that point, I owed $559.
So the full total for liabilities for us, and this is why we work so hard
to stay debt free,
to stay so low on this section of this, is
our total was 38,714 total liabilities. So your debt.
So
liabilities means debt.
Yeah, net worth is estimated with assets minus liability. You're gonna have the least amount of liabilities and build as much assets. That's all it is, and that's how you come up with the net worth number. So now we're gonna take the sum of the full assets that we have and subtract it from our liabilities, and that gives us our net worth, which is a grand total of
$768,787 with 76 cents.
76 cents. Don't forget that. For some of you guys, you will find it extremely high. For some of you, will find it low. But you got to take into account, it took less than 10 years to build this. So we've spent, and we didn't have large incomes to begin with. So it was a lot of sacrifice it took for almost 10 years to get this result.
Yeah.
So
a lot of discipline, a lot of frugality. I mean, we learned all this along the way. We made mistakes. Like I said, I made mistakes where I got into credit card debt. It's very easy to go that route. I mean, you just sometimes depend on things and you let it get out of hand. But yes, this is like in less than 10 years, we were able to build this. We sacrificed a lot. It brought a lot of arguments between us before we were in the same page.
In the same page.
That is one of the biggest advice maybe we can give to couples.
Yeah.
If your finances are not on the same page, it is going to create a lot of tension between you guys. Yeah. So the biggest thing we could have done is we sat down and we actually came up with a an end goal, and we were
Mhm.
able to stick to it, and we continue to push together and help.
Another thing is back to the incomes. The salaries we started are so minuscule. It's not even funny. How much were you making at that time?
Yeah, I think back when I started flying, I mean, I think my hourly pay was 21, $22 an hour. This is back in 2004, at the end of 2014. Yeah, so we've done the big move to Texas,
Yeah, we
completely. We
started
started all
from
over from
zero.
zero.
What year was that? 2014.
At the end of
That was
2014, October
October.
of 2014,
So
and
I didn't.
we used all the savings we had to move, and he was helping me. He was funding me while I was going
Yes.
through flight attendant
So
training. So we basically
we
used all
started
our
from
savings.
zero. In Texas, we started from zero,
Yes.
nothing. So this is how long it took. For my job, I had just started in aviation, and that was considered almost a little bit of a step up from what I was making as a car mechanic. But I got hired in, I think, at $18 an hour.
Mhm.
So I've been moving up this whole time. I make, of course, a lot more than that now, but
Yes.
our lifestyle has maintained roughly at that point where we were in
Yeah.
our 20s. So
Yeah.
that's how you could build this, because we have sacrificed that, our lifestyle,
Hmm.
in order to make this happen. So we started tracking our net worth. I would say from year one of us getting started here in Texas.
Well,
Because
he started doing that.
yes, I started by myself. Once again, we didn't start on the same page. So I
Mhm.
started the process by myself, and I was keeping track of my net worth constantly. At that time, I was calculating my net worth probably quarterly. But it got to a point I was able to do the math in my head. That's how simple my numbers were, because we didn't have anything.
You didn't have anything, so
Yeah,
it's super easy to
super
calculate it.
easy, super easy. So I was able to keep track of it, and then in 2019 is where it was too much for me to keep track of, and I'm like, I need to get this girl on the same page,
Yeah.
and we made it pretty much to do our numbers on December 31st,
Hmm.
and go through them together and see where we're standing and seeing where our money is pretty much
You know,
going.
me, for a regular person, I maybe, I didn't think doing our net worth numbers was a big deal, because I felt like we didn't have anything. Like, what are we really counting? Like, yeah, we have bought a house, but we were in debt with the house. We were paying a mortgage. So I didn't see the need of doing a net worth. So every year that I did it at the beginning, every year we were doing it at the beginning, it just kind of sounded a little silly to me. Like, we
And
have nothing and we have this liability. So to me, it sounded silly to do it. But now I go back to now 2019 and to where we are now, and to see the progress we did. For him, it was more about making sure we're maintaining a pace where we're going up and we're not going down.
yes,
Like, just to see it in front of you. At that point, I didn't see it that way. But now, looking back to it and reflecting on those years, I see how we were moving. Each year we were going up a steady
yeah,
pace.
you'll get once you do your numbers consistently like that, you could kind of guess where you're gonna
Hmm.
go the following year, because you get your growth rate dialed in.
Yeah.
But that's a different video for another day. We could do a whole breakdown on that.
Yes, and it's good to know the progress, so you're not going backwards.
So you're not taking in too
Hmm.
many liabilities. Like,
Yeah.
that's the name of this whole game. Keep your liabilities as low to zero as possible, and your assets as high as possible.
Yeah, and that's what we were telling you at the beginning of the video. Our lifestyle changes might not seem big, and they're not, compared to our net worth, and compared to our um, incomes right now. Our lifestyle
So yeah,
changes are nothing. They're little things that, but because there are little things that we have upgraded in our lifestyle, but because we have kept our lifestyle so low and we're so frugal with everything, these things seem like big jumps for us. Like, they actually feel like we're upgrading our lifestyle.
yes.
When we talk about letting your lifestyle creep up on you, it's like, if you're doing certain things in your lifestyle that don't reflect your net worth or your income, it's just, then you're not funding your investments. You're funding your lifestyle and you're working backwards. Yep, thank you. So if you found this helpful, just reach out. We love teaching people and we love sharing what we know and what has gotten us here.
Thank you so much.